Hello everyone. Today we as a gaming community have suffered a great loss. Satoru Iwata, Nintendo's president, has passed away. The date of death was July 11, 2015, but was not revealed to the public until July 13th. The cause was a cancerous bile growth tumor. He is succeeded by his wife, Kyoko Iwata. His inspiration and wisdom spanned many generations worth of gaming innovation, and was a pioneer when it came to new ideas and creative technology. Starting as a game developer for HAL Laboratory after being admitted to and graduating college, he helped breathe life into such classics as Kirby's Dream Land, Balloon Fight, and the widely renowned Earthbound. Iwata also made great progress with the development of early Pokemon games and helped recode Red and Green to create the landmark title Pokemon Stadium. In early 2000, Satoru became promoted to Nintendo's head of corporate planning and would later succeed as the next president after Yamauchi Hiroshi retired. From there, he led Nintendo out of a terrible financial depression around the time of the GameCube era. He feared that the console was becoming too exclusive to a certain demographic, and he wanted to bring something different to the table. He wanted to bring the brand to a new plateau and to be enjoyed by everyone. Iwata's motto was, "Video games are meant to be one thing, fun. Fun for everyone." He took this belief as his golden rule, incorporating it into every game he oversaw. With this in mind, he developed the Nintendo DS handheld, a revolutionary new handheld system that introduced full 3D rendering and 2 screens. In addition to that, he took a huge risk by deviating from the traditional console and controller and sought to create something imaginative. Thus, the concept for the Wii was born. And though at first it got poor reception and ridicule, it would become one of the best-selling consoles on the market. Later in his career, Iwata became CEO of Nintendo of America and made a groundbreaking decision to no longer hold press conferences at E3, one of the biggest video game expos where all the movers and shakers of the industry go to showcase their new games and consoles. Instead, he decided to stream miniature press conferences, known simply as Nintendo Direct. This gave Iwata the freedom to do conferences whenever he pleased, and would allow him to inject a little bit of his humor into the show. Many people loved these broadcasts, and Iwata became a figurehead nearly recognizable by everyone. Oftentimes, he would be seen with people such as Reggie Fils-Aimé, who is famous for his internet-wide popularity and such phrases as "my body is ready," as well as Shigeru Miyamoto, the creator of the Mario franchise. Together, these three people would often do silly things, like wear green Luigi hats, reenact a Super Smash Bros. Battle, or just simply hold a bunch of bananas. He would also hold directs that were dedicated to a specific game. In 2012, we were given even more innovative technology born from Iwata's genius. They were the successors to the Wii and the DS, aptly named the Wii U and the Nintendo 3DS. There was a lot of hype surrounding these two systems, such as an independent wireless IR tablet controller, HD graphics, and 3D without glasses. But unfortunately for Nintendo, the consoles did not sell well at all, with a lack of powerful first-party software titles at launch. Because of this, Nintendo's finances took a nosedive. This ultimately led to a massive price cut in the consoles. For a good portion of the 2013 fiscal year, Nintendo was in financial jeopardy, but Iwata managed the situation unlike any other CEO. Instead of firing any of his employees, he took the blow. He took a massive pay cut in their stead. This is the formula of a good leader. He truly cared about what he did and what his employees did for him. Such a selfless act would be a rarity in today's day and age, seeing as though a lot of corporate heads and CEOs are extremely selfish and consumed by greed. And if they were faced with a problem such as that, it's almost guaranteed that they would lay people off and dock their pay to compensate. This is one of the many reasons why Mr. Iwata was so well respected. Beyond the title of CEO, he had the same thing in mind as his employees. Not money, but games. Iwata's character can easily be summed up by one of his quotes from a 2005 press conference. "On my business card, I am a corporate president. In my mind, I'm a game developer. But in my heart, I'm a gamer." In 2014, he fell ill and suffered from a bile duct tumor. Because of this, he was not able to attend E3 for either 2014 or 2015. He underwent surgery in 2014 and was ongoing until July of this year. In 2014, he still made an appearance in the Nintendo Direct. However, this year, he was absent due to complications with his tumor. This was unknown to us at the time. Little did we know that the games presented at E3 2015 would be his final gifts to us. But alas, the conference was not well received, and many fans started an uproar over the lack of first-party IPs. Many more became enraged when they did not receive a new definitive Metroid title, instead receiving a spin-off that did not feature Samus Aran as the main character. A petition was even made to cancel the game's production completely. Overall, the absence of Mario, F-Zero, and Earthbound was what many people were mostly upset about. Iwata learned about this, and shortly after made a public apology expressing he was deeply sorry we were not able to meet fans' expectations. For the next several weeks, this was more than likely a significant thought in his mind. He thought like he, as well as the company itself, had failed, and sadly Iwata took that thought to his grave. His final thought was purely regret for letting down their dedicated and loyal fans. While we can all agree he is definitely in a better place, it is simply heartbreaking to know that we made his final days full of stress, anguish, and disappointment. The man had a huge heart, and all he did was give to us, never took away, never spared a thought on his mind. Iwata would always make us laugh with his silly yet serious humor, and make us smile when we played the games he helped create. In fact, his influence spread to nearly each and every other gaming company, such as Ubisoft, Sony, and Microsoft. Each and every one of them held Iwata in the highest regard. For many, he was a fountain of knowledge and inspiration. He knew in his heart who he was, and would never stray from it. His first and most important priority were the games he loved to make, and the people that helped new evolutions and breakthroughs happen. This man loved video games, and he fully knew and understood what it was like to be a powerful figure of corporate authority through the eyes of a gamer. The least we could have done was allow him peace, knowing we appreciated everything he did. Every smile he brought to people, every way he was able to unite families together through the Wii, and every nostalgic moment where we'd see a little twinkle of our childhood in the games we still play today. However, like the saying goes, one can never truly appreciate something until it's gone. While his life may have been cut short, the legacy he left will still resonate with us for generations. And even though he was never with us when he spoke, it was clear that he was speaking not only to us, but directly to our hearts. I'll now sing a song from Earthbound called I Believe in You. I believe the morning sun always gonna shine again, and I believe a pot of gold waits at every rainbow's end. Oh, I believe in roses kissed with dew. Why shouldn't I believe the same in you? I believe in make-believe, fairy tales and lucky charms, and I believe in promises spoken as you cross your heart. Oh, I believe in skies forever blue. Why shouldn't I believe the same in you? You may say I'm a fool, feeling the way that I do. You can call me Pollyanna, say I'm crazy as a loon. I believe in silver linings, that's why I believe in you. I believe there'll come a day, maybe it'll be tomorrow, when the bluebird flies away. All we have to do is follow. I believe a dream can still come true. Still, that's why I believe in you. You may say I'm a fool, feeling the way that I do. I believe in friends and laughter and the wonders love can do. I believe in songs and magic, and that's why I believe in you. We'll now take this time to allow other fans to talk about how Iwata and his influences changed their lives. I have a few people with me today that are wanting to share a few things.
Person whom you're trying to reach is
Okay then, I guess I'll start then. There can really be nothing more said about Iwata. He was a humongous part of Nintendo's history, and without him I wouldn't be playing the games I am today. Ever since I was a little kid, I found solace and comfort in video games. While many parents at the time found them to be addicting, and mine still do, that's not how I played video games, or the reason. I'll call you in a little bit, PK. Growing up, I was a social outcast at my grade school. I was the odd one out, last picked for teams, etc. As such, I never really had any friends. And every time I would try to make friends, they would eventually stop talking to me because they either thought I was weird or stupid. That's how things were. I was on autopilot. I'd wake up, go to class, come home, and it continued that way for a while. Until one day at Christmas time, when I was 7, I'd received a new toy. something I'd never seen or heard of before. It was a Nintendo 64, and with it came Super Mario 64, my first game. I played every day when I came home from school. I loved it. The colors, the music, the levels, everything was just perfect. Except for the eel, that thing scared the crap out of me. As time went on, I acquired more and more games, and with each one, an entirely new experience. New worlds, new characters, new stories, and more. I could just get so lost in these vividly colorful worlds that I often imagined I was there in those worlds. And with that, a fascination began to spark. I had to know how they worked, what went into them, and everything in between. It wasn't until middle school when Iwata finally took his place in the president's chair. At the time, I had played games like Super Smash Bros. And Kirby 64. And I was playing games on the GameCube as well. I even had a Game Boy Advance SP, the last in the line of Game Boy Advance products. By then, I had developed a fondness for Nintendo like no other. I always held these universes and worlds close to me, never forgetting the games that I started out with. Fast forward to high school. Still pretty much a social outcast, shunned by pretty much every clique there ever was. Hell, even the emos thought I was weird. I let the day take me wherever, like a leaf in the breeze, and I'd always come home anxious to start the next big adventure. But in 2007, something incredible happened. Earlier the previous year, and the previous months as well, there was talk of a next-gen system for Nintendo that would be superior to the GameCube. Its codename was the Revolution, something a lot of people had high hopes for. But many of those hopes were dashed when the console's real name turned out to be the Wii. At first we were scratching our heads and laughing about how ridiculous the name sounded, not to mention the controller was a remote control. How could we play games with a remote control? It was simply too silly to comprehend. But little did we know this system would be one of the first to be blessed by Iwata's magic. Release day came, and many people bought their Wii not really knowing what to expect. Even me, who had grown up with Nintendo, was dumbfounded as to how this was a good idea. But it was. It was such a step outside the traditional norm that it became widely popular and the fans loved it. Sure, it wasn't HD like the competing consoles, but the one thing it did have was heart, imagination, and innovation. These were the ingredients chosen to create a console like no other. We could go to space with Mario, play tennis with our Miis, even swing a sword around like Link, the hero of the Zelda franchise. This gimmick was so popular, even other game companies tried to copy it, but none succeeded quite like the Wii. It was this charm and appeal that made me so invested in the deeper sides of video games. Story creation, level design, I wanted to know it all. It was all because of Mr. Iwata. Video games are just so fascinating when you dig beneath the ones and the zeros and get deep into what they truly mean. Each one is special in a unique way, and it's mostly in part to the love Iwata and his team put into each cartridge and disc. He is, and always will be, the reason I love video games and love Nintendo. I was born a Nintendo fan, and will die one as well. Here's to you, Mr. Iwata. We hope you enjoy your extra life. Alright, PK, you may speak if you wish.
Okay. This is probably going to be a bit repeatish and long, just a word of warning.
Go for it.
Feels, but as you all know, we gather here today not just as a Chibi crew or just a group of Twitch users, but as a community, a gaming community united by a great man and an equally great legacy. Today we pay memorial to a kind man, a man who I could dare say possibly restore one's faith in humanity and one's faith in corporate leadership. Iwata brought many things to this world: joy, friendship, common bonds, memories, innovation, and so much more. Iwata may have brought Nintendo news directly to us, but in reality he brought so much more. Iwata was funny, kind, entertaining, unbelievably compassionate, and so much more. He loved his job and his fans and the company that he worked for so much that in troubled times he took a 50% pay cut not once but twice so as to not adversely affect his workers or the consumers who are his fans. Now, as we, the gaming community, unite, it is time we bring something direct to you, Iwata-san. So, as you pass into the next life, please understand, no matter your faults, no matter your mistakes, you are loved and you are greatly missed. You once said on my business card, I am a president and CEO. In my mind, I am a programmer. In my heart, I am a gamer. To you, Iwata-san, I say the following, with which I'm sure and I hope many gamers will agree. In our business minds and our adult minds, we respect you. In our childhood minds, we adored you in many ways and you were a hero. But in our hearts, you and your legacy will always be there. So Iwata-san, we, our fans, send our love and our best wishes directly from us to you. To the haters, the trolls, the gamers, and non-gamers alike, please understand the loss of Iwata resonates far and wide, not only from a man taken from this life far too soon, but from a legacy that is not without measure, but rather a legacy that is far, far beyond measure. For those of us that unite to mourn the loss of a true legend and a true icon, please understand, Iwata may have departed us, but his legacy and his memory lives on directly in our hearts, our consoles, our handheld, and our friendships forged by his many contributions. Hold on, there's more, I just gotta get to it. Okay, it's been said that the true measure of a person is the content of their character, and Mr. Iwata, your character was truly that of a rare gem. In closing, thank you, Iwata-san, for a legacy that will be remembered for generations. From us, your fans, your community, direct to you, a big thank you. May the next life please understand the caliber of a person you were. To quote the Japanese title of one of the Pokemon anime, a franchise which you were very involved in on the gaming side, best wishes, Iwata, from us, your fans. Lastly, you once said, rather we speak in different languages, rather we eat different foods, or rather we think different thoughts, we are all identical in one important way. We are all gamers at heart. So again, from this gamer's heart, direct to your heart, I truly can't thank you enough. May you rest in peace, Satoru Iwata. God bless you. Amen. And thank you for the memories and the legacy. That's it.
Thank you. All right, we have another person that would like to say a few words. Hello, Jaka.
Hello.
Alright, whenever you're ready.
I don't have much to say. He was a young guy, though. And he did a lot in his life. He probably revolutionized the company so much. But there's so much he had yet to do. Like, if you agree, I mean... Yeah, it's sad. It's very sad.
Thank you, Jaka. Alright. Dao would also like to speak. Alright, while we're getting a hold of Dao, I'd like to ask you guys, what were the games that he made that were most influential to you?
I hate to sound like a one-track record, but obviously for me it would be Pokemon games and the Kirby series that he had a hand in.
Which one was the one you liked the most?
I don't know if I could choose just one, especially now that he's gone.
Alright. I do have somebody that requested me to say a few words on his behalf. His name is J-Ro Plays. And this is what he has to say. When I heard about Iwata's passing, I was absolutely heartbroken. Iwata was one of my heroes in gaming. I broke down crying. I decided to get some devs friends with me to make a remake of the original Super Mario Bros. I'm calling it the Iwata Project. Here's to him, and this is in your honor. Thank you very much, J-Ro. Alright. If there's anybody else that has anything they'd like to say, feel free to whisper it to me.
I believe Dao is looking for his thing that he wrote.
Okay. Alright, well, I think we'll only do this for a little while longer, and then I think we'll bring this to a close.
Cheeky Nandos.
Yes, Alan, go ahead. Take your time, though, Luigi. If there was a way, Bouncy, if there was a way I could completely turn ads off, I would have. Trust me, I would have. Like, I don't know what makes them play.
Unfortunately, you can turn off as much as you can turn off on your side, but unfortunately, there are still going to be ads that Twitch will force through to any channel no matter what. More so, obviously, to the partner channels because they're still business. They need that revenue. That's never going to totally be ad-free.
True.
I mean, unless, of course, you pay for it, like Turbo.
Alright. We do have another person that wants to say something. Actually, I do have Dow's... I do have Dow's note right here. So I will read this for him. Iwata was not only the CEO and the president of Nintendo, he was Nintendo. Iwata was one of the reasons why we had the Year of Luigi in the first place. A quote from Mr. Iwata that really touched me was, "On my business card I'm a corporate president, in my mind I'm a game developer, but in my heart I'm a gamer." Yesterday, I played as Iwata online in Mario Kart 8, and I kept saying, "Thanks for playing." And of course, I wasn't the only person playing as Iwata in Mario Kart 8. There were several, and I mean several other people playing as Iwata in Mario Kart 8. The first ever Nintendo games that I remember playing was Super Mario World and Mario Bros. 2. Those games also have a special place in my heart. Nintendo Directs will never be the same again. I hope we will meet you soon, sometime in the afterlife. Thank you, Iwata. Alright. Thank you very much, Luigi. If there's nothing else anybody has to say, I will go ahead and bring this to a close. Iwata, you were a wonderful man. You did wonderful things. And not only that, but you also showed your love in many different ways. Not only to us, to your fans, but also to the world. I feel like if we never got to see you, we would have never really got to see the real Nintendo. Because behind it all, you were Nintendo. So, good sir, I thank you for everything you've done, and may you rest in peace. That will conclude the service today. Thank you guys for coming, and we'll see you next time.